Hey everyone, it's Hurley from Eclipse and welcome to another video. Today I'm using a bunch of products from Neat and Tangled like the stencil and the awesome stamp set with the dies. And I'm also going to be using some Ali Edwards pigment inks to be doing some two different types of ink blending through stencils. So I'm going to be starting off the card by taping down this stencil by using this frog tape, and I've also taped down the card handle underneath so it won't move, and this will give you two cards out of one ink blending pass, so I'm super excited to show you guys that, and I'll give you two cards with completely different looks on them. So after I've taped that down, I'm just going to do the first card with just regular ink blending here. Like I said, I'm using these Ali Edwards inks, and I just love how they go on. They're actually pigment inks, which is really different from what I usually use. I usually tend to stick with the dye inks, but these give a much more vibrant color since they sit on the top of the surface a little bit more, and they also kind of act a little bit like paint, so they don't dry as quickly, but it also gives you a little bit more time for blending and things like that. So there are some give or takes with pigment and dye inks, and I tend to have both in my collection, but I tend to use dye inks more for stamping and things like that, and pigment inks for more technique kind of ideas like this because it gives you some really awesome vibrant colors, and they're really awesome for going through stencils or blending backgrounds out as well. So I'm just going in with this, my ink blending tool, which is the round one from Tim Holtz, and I fill in each little hexagon with a different color. There's no rhyme or reason or pattern, but I really love how this stencil from Neat and Tangled has those different like nooks in them. So once you'll see at the end, it gives you some really awesome looks because you're filling in each little each little hexagon, and I'm going a little bit outside so I get a nice blended effect as well. So I'm just going to continue ink blending out the pattern here. I try not to put two colors too close together because it's kind of a pattern that I wanted to not make too repetitive or whatever, or I didn't want two colors bleeding together. So I'm trying to keep them all kind of separate and ink blend them all together. And you'll see that little piece of paper off to the side. I dab my color off there if it gets a little too thick. And then I'm going to pull that off and reveal the awesome pattern and design that's underneath. Then I am going to spray down the stencil that we just used that has a bunch of ink still on it. And I'm going to flip that over onto another piece of cardstock, and I'm going to press that down and leave that there for just a couple seconds, and you'll see the color transfers really awesome, and it looks like you just hand watercolored that background, which I think is so cool, and it gives you a really awesome look. So then I'm using this awesome die, and I cut it out using black cardstock, and I cut out the background using vellum. So I'm using some multi-matte medium to adhere it down to the vellum, and this gives a really awesome look with the black against the vellum. Nice contrast there. And then I'm going to use this Xyron sticker maker, which is a little small sticker maker. It's really awesome. For the vellum, I didn't want any of the adhesive showing on the back, so when I pull it through this sticker maker, all you have to do is just shove your sentiment through whatever you have, and then pull it out through the other side, and then I'm going to rub it with my bone folder just to make sure all the adhesive is sticking, but basically it'll cover the whole back side of your die cut with adhesive. That way through the vellum you won't be able to see any specific adhesives where it'll just be one whole layer of it. So then I'm peeling that off, and I'm going to add it onto the center of my card. And this just gives a really nice bond as well because it's really strong adhesive. And I'm just going to press that down and center it as well. You're going to want to make sure your background's dry before you're touching it because it is pigment ink, so it takes a little bit longer to dry. I'm stamping it on the sentiment right above it that says "You are so that it reads "You're so awesome." And then I'm going to add this little die cut to the second one here. And I'm going to add "Go and Be," so it says "Go and Be Awesome" on it. I love the two different varieties, and in the stamp set there's a bunch of different ways you can say the different sentiments using the word awesome. Then I'm going to use this Spectrum Noir Shimmer pen, which gives a lot of glitter and shimmer, but it also doesn't come off on the card, so it's really awesome if you're afraid of glitter like me, but you want a ton of awesome shimmer and shine. And then I'm adding some glossy accents, which I am in love with, onto these die cuts, which just makes it stand out just a little bit more, and I love using these die cuts on my card to make a really bold statement piece when you have a really busy background like these. So that finishes off the cards for today, guys. I hope you really enjoyed it. I love creating these and experimenting with new inks and new products and things like that. And I really love the cards we created, and it didn't take too much time at all. So if you're in a hurry or you want some really awesome cards without having to do much, I guess, blending or techniques, just do one and you'll be able to create two at the same time. If you like this video, please give it a big thumbs up. Don't forget to click that subscribe button on screen right now if you want to join the Eclipse family. There's also more of my content if you want to click on that, and if you click on the Eclipse logo on screen, you'll be able to go to my blog post where you'll find much more information, many more photos, and links to all the products I use in today's video. I'll see you guys very soon in another card making crafting video. Bye!